If there's anything for sure, it's that Disney has been promoting the crap out of Inside Out, and at first I really wasn't that interested. I was expecting a lot out of it, especially since there was the whole year off where Disney and Pixar didn't make a single movie, and I was kind of bummed about that because it was kind of becoming a family tradition where me and my family every summer we go and see the Pixar movie, and there wasn't one last year, so there was this void in my life, and I was waiting for the Pixar movie. But this year we're actually getting 2 Pixar movies for the first time in the history of ever, so I'm pretty psyched about that. So today I'm going to be drawing the emotions inside Riley's brain from Pixar's Inside Out. So we've got joy, sadness, disgust, anger, and fear. Fear was the most difficult for me to draw. I'm actually drawing him right now. Just because his proportions are so much, they're so different from what I'm used to drawing, because I have a style and I don't really draw things that look like noodles that often, and fear looks like a noodle to me. I also had trouble with Joy just because she had the most colors, but she was still the simplest character. She looked the most like a human, so trying to make her actually look like Joy instead of just a character that looks like, or a character dressed up like Joy, was a little difficult for me. But I think in the end I did come out with something that looks like Joy to me, so that turned out alright. And here I'm just arranging them because I wasn't sure where I wanted them to stand, and I wanted to make sure their feet lined up, so if Joy was if the picture of Joy was in front of Disgust, I wanted to make sure Disgust's feet were a little bit farther backwards, if you know what I mean. Otherwise it would look really weird, and there wouldn't be as much dimension, and it would look like they're all standing in a line, but random parts are overlapping each other, and I didn't draw it that way, so I had to make sure that their feet were more in a triangle shape instead of a straight line. And then this is just the second sketch layer. Again, I'm working on Joy, and it took me a couple tries to get her hair right. This isn't what I end up with the hair. I end up with a much more sleeker look, because I was looking at references the whole time, and her hair is not quite that frizzy. So I did that, and then there's all these little flowers on her dress. I think they're flowers. They're more like splashes of blue on her green dress. And then Disgust, I have to say, Disgust looks like she's going to be my favorite character. The sass level on her, my goodness, I can't, that's the part I'm kind of excited to see is her. I'm kind of sad that she's not a main character. Well, I mean, she's a main character, but she's not the main character. It looks like the main character is going to be about joy and sadness and them getting along, even though they're polar opposite emotions, which is cool and all. Oh, I wish I was more excited for this movie. As I grow older, Disney movies that you watched as a kid still remain up on top, and they're still amazing even when you rewatch them. So when I get to the point where I go and watch a kids movie that just came out, and I'm sitting there watching it, and when these thoughts creep into your head and they're this feels like a kids movie, why am I even watching this? That is the worst feeling in the world. It makes you feel so old, and I hate that feeling. And I kind of got that feeling when I watched the trailer for this, the first trailer that came out. And I was kind of meh, I'm not really interested in this movie. It looks it's for a younger audience. But, the more clips I see, the little trailers don't do it for me when I don't want to see a movie. But if I watch, the clips of a movie that's coming out soon, that usually gives me a better vibe of what the movie's actually going to be like. And I actually might have laughed out loud for 1 or 2 of those clips, and they're pretty funny, and I actually do think I'm going to see this movie. Definitely going to see this movie, actually. Don't know why I'm doubting myself. I'm going to see it. I'm probably just not going to run out of my house as soon as it comes out to see it, but I'm definitely going to see it. I think it comes out, this video's coming out, I think it comes out today in the US, so that's exciting. Let me know if you saw Inside Out and if it was good, and was it worth the year wait that Pixar made us wait for this movie? I hope it is. I'm psyched. And then there's also next, I should be talking about the drawing, but I'm really excited because Pixar is a major part of my life. But I am super excited for the next Pixar movie about the dinosaurs, because dinosaurs, princesses and dinosaurs are my 2 favorite topics. Oh, and robots. I like robots too. But if Disney's going to make another dinosaur movie, I'm all for that. Do you remember the dinosaur movie where all the scenes were filmed in real life and then the dinosaurs were animated? Love that. Actually, I love all dinosaur movies. Littlefoot, The Land Before Time. I can't think of a dinosaur movie that I don't like. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the drawing because I'm already on the line art. We're back on Disgust, and I had a little bit of trouble with her face. It just wasn't turning out quite the way I wanted it to. I think it might have been the size brush I was using. I'm not sure. And then if you notice, like it's really jaggedy when I draw her arms, and also when I end up drawing her legs and her face and all that. That's because when I was looking at the references, they don't have smooth skin because, I mean, they're not human. They're emotions. They're not really exist like a physical thing. So they made their skin like this cool, shiny, like sparkly stuff, and it's really rough and it looks really fuzzy. And I really want to try and emulate that with my line art. And so whenever I drew parts that were like their skin, let's say, I always was shaking my hand like crazy as I was drawing it. So you can see it's like really jaggedy. Yeah, so that's something you might notice. So don't point it out in the comments and be like, your line art is so jacked up, because I did it on purpose. Oh, and this glasses, did you see that? I ended up just using the round selection tool, the circle selection tool to make those perfect circles for Sadness's glasses, because I was having a hard time drawing a circle at that moment, which was interesting for me. And then I'm drawing Joy's face. And again, doing the jaggedy line art for her arms, because that's like her skin. And then her dress. I love drawing dresses. I've probably talked about this before, but I really like the way both the dresses turned out in this picture, because I like Joy's dress and Disgust's dress. I'm probably more partial for Disgust's dress just because I really like Disgust. She's great. And then here you can see that I did the hair a little bit differently for Joy. I just changed it up a little bit. And then here we are working on Fear. I think in the end he turned out alright. I'm still not like comfortable drawing him. I feel like I definitely need more practice drawing different shapes, which was really cool about just drawing this whole picture in general, was that, you know, it kind of gets me out of my comfort zone, and I'm not just drawing random girls with like the same face all the time. I'm drawing 5 individual characters, and they all look like individual characters. They don't look like the same faces on every single character. Oops, sorry, just bumped you. This picture was one of the, how do I say this? This picture, I spent more time on this picture than probably any other picture in my, that I've ever drawn on my channel, at least in recent times. And that's probably just because there are 5 characters in one picture and they all have clothes. I did cut out shading because there is no way I was going to be able to shade this all within, like, I don't know, 5 hours. It would probably have ended up taking about 5 hours if I had shaded this, which would have been crazy, and I don't have that kind of time. I wish I did. That'd be great for all 5 hours a day. Yeah. I didn't finish this all in one day. I kept like taking it up and doing different bits and pieces every other day, every day kind of thing. But because I did that, I did forget to turn on my recording software once, luckily only once, and that was when I was coloring in Fear, so there is no video for Fear. Oh, no, not Fear. We already watched Fear. It's Anger. That's the one. Anger. I'm gonna get so angry. Okay, yeah. I didn't film myself coloring Anger, but we're coloring Joy right now, so let's talk about Joy. I kind of like the way this hair turned out. Like, it's really crazy and like messy, but I like the way that there's like a strand that goes over her head that I drew, and then there's a strand that goes like underneath that hair that I drew that was across, but it's like going downwards, and then it connects with the other one that was going sideways. I don't know why, that just like makes me really happy when I look at it, and like I can't stop looking at it right now. And yeah, probably should talk about something else. Oh, now we're coloring Disgust. I could stop being a nerd for 2 seconds. So at first I colored her skin that, and then I lightened it a little bit. And then I noticed, I looked back at a reference, that she has 4 of those little weird eyelash thingies, so I added another one on each side and then colored it so it looked like the hair in the movies, because their hair looks so crazy. It's like this weird speckly stuff, and it's really pretty and glittery, and I kind of want hair like that. It'd be really interesting to walk around a day with hair like that. And for all the hair, I think Joy and Disgust hair turned out the best. Sadness's, it didn't turn out quite right. It was probably because I did it first and I was still experimenting. But yeah, I really like the way Disgust's hair turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. And I made it so you could actually see the eyelashes in front of the hair, because it kept blending in, but I ended up using like a gradient underneath the eyelashes and then using a much brighter green to color in the eyelashes. And then that made it pop against the hair, which is technically like the same color, but, you know, tips and tricks just to make it look like, I mean, it looks like it goes together, but, you know, they're different levels and they're different important. I mean, it's important to be able to see the eyelashes. You don't want them to blend in, because that makes it kind of boring. And then coloring in her dress because she has these crazy flower patterns. She's very like 1950s, 60s vibe, and I love it. I just really like her design overall. Like, she's my favorite. I love that she's got little chunky hips and then they go down to little tiny ankles. I think that's really cute. And then here they are all colored, and I'm just adding a quick background. I just added a black background like in the promotional images, and then I made Joy glowing because she glows in the movie, which I'm kind of excited to see why. Hopefully they explain that. And yeah. Oh, and then little speckles because I saw that in the promotional image, and that made me want to do that. And then here's the picture. So that's fear, sadness, joy, disgust, and anger all together in one picture, and I got it out. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it done in time, but I did, so I'm kind of happy about that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you're seeing the movie. I hope you all have a delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!